Hello there. My name is Al, and this is another tutorial in this little subsection on command prompt I have going. This is actually a continuation from another tutorial in this same set. And what I want to do is build on that backup script that we made to make it more like a versioning type thing. That is, instead of just copying everything to the same spot, it might be more useful to kind of label the times when you've made a backup so that you could revert to a specific spot. Now, the other tutorial has this title. Maybe I can put it in the editor. So this is the first tutorial in that set. There are three. Second one is called this. And the third one is called this. And they're all part of a playlist which I'll include in the video description for this video, and I'll add this one at the end of that playlist. There is a playlist. I'm curious to know what that playlist is. And if you're a fast typer, it is. Let's see now. Just so as not to obscure your view. Let's see now. That's this one. Well, it's YouTube, and then playlist not. Well, I think you can just open that link. See how that works. Just do the URL for YouTube, playlist equals, hit enter, and I am not there. No, you gotta do, it's view playlist, I think. Maybe. I know the syntax for this, but I forgot. Okay, there's an underscore there, then a question mark, and it's not list, it's P. So that should work. And I'm going to try it. Oh, because I didn't copy it. You play with P equals, should have worked. Yeah. Oh, well, here it is. Aha. First I got the wrong identifier. Oh, no, I don't. Okay. This part, this is a diversion, isn't it? That is the first part you gotta put down. Then you have to say question mark P equals, and then you need the playlist identifier, number, or string, and that is, better get this right. Playlist command processor singing, and then list ID. Now that looks exactly like I just put in, but who knows? Put that into my browser. Oh, and it did come up. Oh, and plain x equals 1. There we go. I see. It came up, but it didn't start playing though. Oh, that's not going to work now, is it? But I'll add that at the end. And it's working. There you go. So, in general, if you want to watch through a playlist, you type all this stuff that you know already. View playlist question mark P equals, then this great big long identifier thing, then an ampersand I should say, play next equals 1, which would start from the first video and walk through. And I don't know what the title of this one's going to be, because I've already used up a whole bunch of time and I probably won't get to most of it. Now I'm trying to recall. Trying to recall now where we were. We had a backup script. It was called My Backup, but in fact I renamed it because it was putting all that stuff in my Dropbox. If you recall, Dropbox is this thing that you create a directory on your hard drive, and anything you copy there will automatically wind up online, and it's free up to a certain limit. If you want to have more space, you pay more, or you pay something. I'd like to have more space, and I have money, but I can't pay them. So I'm limited And what I was using was, in order to do the backup, was this archive attribute. Okay, now that's a property of things in my folder, like the CPP debug has subdirectories. You can see, well, there's not much in here. Now all of these have the archive bit cleared, which means I would have, these have been backed up. What would I have not? Okay, I'll try and, how about this? Okay, now there are a couple of these here that have an archive bit. Oops. Okay, now this has changed. This has changed. That's the I changed it from my backup to backdrop. You see, because it goes into my Dropbox, and drop back didn't sound right because that sounds like you're reverting. So I thought backdrop was a good name for my backup script. Now another backup type thing I have is also ready to be archived. Here's another file, and here's another file. Now the problem is, with the way we had it before, well, this is a good one, by the way. If you ever, you should learn this one. Explorer %CD. Just, you can type that out if you really want. Okay, now that's going to run an instance of Explorer in this directory. Can't see it from there. Whoops. Stop doing things for me. See? See where it is? That's where we are. That's where it took me to. So Explorer here is a lot to type as well. I can't think of a better name yet. Like X here or something. X here. X, P and H is hard to type. Here, maybe. E here. Here, X here. Expert. I don't know. Can't think of a good name. If you can think of a good name, tell me. Yeah. So all those things were being copied. All the things that have an archive bit set would be copied to this directory, and with their corresponding in their corresponding folders. If they happen to have folders, the subfolders would be included. Now I'm about to type directory here, and you're going to see what I've done with that. Yeah, I've changed it. Now, the backups, although still being incremental, are not stored just by file name. They're put into these zip files, right? And so, for instance, if I wanted to go back to version 0, they're probably not in the right date order, but whatever. Because I've changed the name, so in any case, what is the oldest one? Order by date, is that how that works? Well, that certainly is the oldest one. And that certainly is the newest one. So actually they're in the right order. Okay. Yeah. So first off, we want to be able to do this. Let me see my time. Right. Now, there are several problems that come up in order to do this. First, we had the old backup script, which is probably, maybe it's even in this archives here. Now, see, the first problem is you might not have this utility I'm using here. No files found. Oh, that's probably for extract. Can't create. Oh, minus dir. Okay. Where to put me? Okay. And then this one is, yeah, this one shouldn't have the. This is an old one, so it's not correct. It's not perfect. But it can be fixed. It can always be fixed. Now, it was called My Backup. Well, it could be getting close. You can see it's a little bit of a confused mess here. But I did eventually fix it. No. No. Well, eventually I'm going to show you how to do all this in one step. That is everything. Anyway, doesn't matter. The point is, we had a thing, and it used X copy, right? It used X copy in order to determine, using the attribute flag, which things to copy to the backup directory. Now, I have another utility on here called PKZIPC, which you should probably obtain, or any kind of archiving thing, because it doesn't actually matter. You see, we can do the exclude and all those sorts of things already, so we don't need any special things. Like this has an exclude thing, which I tried, and it didn't seem to work right. It has a after, it has an attributes thing, and I tried experiments with these things, and it didn't quite seem to work. Because the problem is, it's sort of like, this one sort of depends on where you're copying it to, right? So if I specify a zip name, it's going to compare with the target zip name, right? And if I specify a brand new name, then it just copies everything. And I don't want that. I want it to sort of compare one zip with another zip, and just do the differences. Don't include everything. But the thing is, we've already got that. That part we already solved. The only problem is we're copying it all to the same directory, and that's no good. We want it in separate archive files. So the solution is so simple, because you see, this X copy, if you recall, it uses this archive bit or attribute from the source, okay? So it doesn't care what the destination is, it only cares about what's in the source. So instead of copying to one common destination, what you do is you copy to some temporary random destination, okay, all the things that you want to update, and then just use your regular archiving zip program, like PKZIPC I have, to zip up from there, and hopefully in such a way that you don't add an extra level of directories, as I had wrong in the first few examples there, and then move the resulting file to the actual destination. So now here's what I come up with. Backdrop. Now some of this is going to look familiar. Now remember before we had for testing we changed the destination to some silly thing that says please delete me if you find it. Okay, we'll do that again. And then we just call our do backup using the batch subroutine functionality, and then go to end of files. And then do backup first gets so now it's different. First it's going to get a zip file name, okay, taken from, I'm taking these arguments. The destination that we're supplying. Okay. Now this destination is, in this case, Dropbox, and then the name of our %n1 is passed in from CD, so that's the name of our directory. And then it stores the result in this environment variable called zip files. Now here's the same old two xcopy lines, which should really be one, but whatever. With the exclude and everything, blah blah blah. But I'm not sending it to the actual destination, and I'm sending it to this fake destination. Okay. And the fake destination I use for one of the global environment variables, %temp, fake of Dropbox. Everything fake destination. And this is just to check to see if it failed or if it's empty. Then there's nothing to do. Now I'm using something that you probably don't know about, PUSHD. Okay, so this is going to be part one. This will certainly be a 2 or 3 parter probably to get it all going. PUSHD. PUSHD is one of these fantastic things that exist that was added to Windows XP, I think is when it started. Push. It's like CD. Suppose I do this. CD. Okay, I've changed my directory. Right? Now, how do I get back to where I was? Well, I have to do CD. CD, whoops, just like that, right? I'm using relative paths here. Generally, okay, I could have said right. Okay, well, aside from it being a lot of typing, once I'm here in this one, I can't get back to this one without actually knowing where I came from. And there is another problem with CD. Suppose I want to do this. CD right? Where I'm not in C Windows. In order to get that to work, I think you have to do /D or something. Yeah. You have to put a /D to make sure that it actually changes the drive and the directory at the same time. With PUSHD, you have no problems like that at all. Watch this. PUSHD C Windows okay. Now I've just done PUSHD. Now actually I'm going to do it again. Something where I know where I'm going to end up. Okay, here I am. Some other directory. Well, that's very interesting. Now, I would like to get back to where I was, before I got here. Well, it's scrolled off the. Well, it hasn't scrolled off, so let's do another push D. Some of my Dropbox. I can still see that one. Good. Push D. You can use relative paths. Alright. So now I've done a lot of push D'ing, okay? Now, to go backwards, you just say POPD. That's where I was that last time. That's where I was before that. That's where I was before that. And that's where I was before that. And that's where I happened to be before that. And that's the beginning, there's no more. So there's kind of a stack, a pushing and popping stack. And that's in fact how this thing works. Like suppose I went back to this directory, wherever it was. If the directory is too long, this is pretty long. Not long enough. Oh, that sounds like it's going to do lots in here. I don't know if it's long enough. Alright. If it's too long, then the edit program just simply doesn't work. Whoops. Well, see, I can't even find it. In any case, when I do this, it does a. Well, we can look at it. It does a push D into the batch directory, right? And then it does that. You go through the edit part, and then it does a POPD. Because it turns out that if the path name is too long, the edit program simply won't run. And not only that, you don't wind up with these wiggles. Like if I do this, I get wiggles. But if I, use this thing, I get no wiggles because this is edit with a push D current directory first, then edit, and then I pop D. And push D and pop D keeps the full name. I've gone on way too long. So we'll call this introduction to writing a better batch script and push D, pop D, PKZIPC, archiving, And that's something. I'll start on the next one. So